Welcome back, everybody, to Carrigan Company. Great to have you with us for this episode. And keeping me company today, of course, is Scott Whitley from Wicked Bites. And we are about to be joined by a legend.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
I am so looking forward to it. I have anticipated meeting her for a long time. She and I have a friend, a common friend, and a mutual friend, I should say, and that is David Joseph, the designer. David has been here on the show numerous times. He has designed things for me, and he has designed many on-stage pieces for Melba, and he is a dear friend of hers. Melba Moore is with us. Nice to see you.
It's really good to be here. You make me feel good.
Oh, well, listen, you should be feeling good every day of your life. That's got to be a pretty easy thing to do.
But first of all, I love Boston. You've got great seafood, okay?
that we do, and pizza.
We
have great pizza here.
I can't eat pizza anymore, so.
Well, come and have our seafood. That would be terrific. Listen, I've got to start with you right off the bat. I watched your show Valentine's Day in Paris this year. What an incredible experience you must have had there. Sold out, and Valentine's Day in the City of Love. Tell me about that experience.
It was absolutely amazing. I haven't been there in a very, very long time. And it was the first time at this venue. So I wasn't sure what to expect. Well, when I say sure what to expect, I usually kind of anticipate what the entrance is going to be, because David always makes me something special for these special occasions. And I was looking to try to see if there was enough space for David's train to follow me, but it wasn't. It was very intimate. So we had a small train, so I had to make sure I didn't get the train stuck or caught as I came out. So I was a little bit preoccupied, because I want to know that before you sing, people see you.
Absolutely.
And so when I saw the response, when I first came out, I thought, oh, it's going to be okay. the first thing. And then, of course, the next thing I saw was that they were all standing. They took the seats out. So it was sold out. That meant the promoter made money, so he might invite me back. That was the second thing. Well, I had already had a rehearsal with the band and the background singers, so I knew they were absolutely exquisite. So then I kind of make sure I was standing up straight and said, okay, Miss Melba, let's go enjoy this here.
Well, good for you. Well, I know David said it was a magnificent show. I got the great pleasure of seeing chunks of it, thanks to him, and it was a great show. Congratulations to you. So, Scott, this woman, I start researching her. Now, everybody knows the name Melba Moore. Everybody knows. But then I start researching you and learning a little bit more about some of the many roles. And I was saying to Scott before we came on, something that I didn't realize, Melba, was that you played Fantine on Broadway in Les Miserables, my favorite all-time musicals, and probably one of the greatest roles I personally think that was ever put on stage. Tell me about that experience. And you were also the first African-American woman to play that role. So tell me about that experience.
Well, it has an awful lot to do with one of the gentlemen who casts the actress for Les Mis, and that is, his name is Richard J. Alexander. Mm-hmm. I was in a tiny little town called Hollywood, Florida, where apparently he had a part-time home. It's not a summer home, because I guess it's always warm there. But he was there, and I was there doing a little play that I had in workshop, autobiographical one-woman play with music. And it was in his little storefront, and I was just kind of testing it out. But he happened to come to see the performance. And he said he had seen me in Pearly, so he knew that I could belt it out. Right. But he didn't know that I sang classical music. Ah. That's what interested him in him, because it was autobiographical. So I was basically trying to figure out how to tell my life story in capsule, but kind of highlighting the musical aspects of it, because part of it was that I was first a music educator. Mm-hmm. And so I was talking about that, and having studied the classical pieces and doing one of the classic pieces, Summertime, to show my little my little classical voice. But he met me after the performance and said that he loved my classical voice, and he knew I could belt it out, and he knew I had hit records. But he wanted to see if he could get me cast as Fantine in Les Miserables, so I would have to leave all of that home, do no belting, and only use my classical interpretation of songs, because even the cultural influences. It's about the French Revolution, not about Harlem,
Right, of course, right.
But, seeing the play myself multiple times, and you mentioned classical. I wouldn't classify as classical. It just, the representation of everything, I don't know. It had a much hipper feel than classical.
Well, are you talking about Les Mis?
Les Mis, yes.
It wasn't classical, but because he saw me do classical, he wanted to make sure I knew, don't ad-lib.
Right.
Remember, it's about the French Revolution. You're an actor now. Mm-hmm. But you must become Fantine. Mm-hmm. And although she's black, she's French. She's not American. It's all those little nuances there that he wanted to be sure that I would be sensitive to once I got direction as to how I should play, what I should do as a character of Fantine. Sure. All of those little cultural things that you don't want to bring to that character.
Right, absolutely, right. Well, congratulations to you. What an incredible opportunity. And it was one of many that you'd had on Broadway. I mean, you're a Tony winner, Grammys. I mean, ma'am, you have done it all and then some. Take me to one of your favorite moments, and I know that's probably impossible as a woman who started a career back in the late 60s and the 70s. But take me to one of your favorite moments, if you can.
Well, absolutely, the Tony Awards.
Really?
Because at that point, I was not a trained actor. I guess I'm still not, but, sometimes you get the privilege of learning on the job. Mm-hmm. And so I really had no knowledge of theater. I didn't keep up with it, so I didn't know about the Tony Awards. I didn't know what it was, or, of course, how incredible it was and how it would change your life dramatically forever.
Right, exactly.
So I guess maybe one of the biggest moments I had was finding out that I was nominated for it, being able to perform on the Tony Awards TV Awards show. Right. Having the shock of the cast of Pearly and myself performing on there. One of the biggest shocks was that since it was for television, all the lights were on, so you could see who was. I saw Pearl Bailey, Rex Harrison, all these different stars in the audience. I said, "Oh my God, how am I going to remember what the heck it is I'm doing?" I'm just trying to tell you, it was so exciting. Plus, I didn't understand the categories, and I know I think it's Jack Jones. He said somebody else's name and my last name, so he got it confused. So I thought they had already called my name, and I was trying to get out of the theater. And then I heard the audience saying, "No, Melba Moore." And Melba, I thought, "Oh my God, what's going on?" There was so much confusion that night. You could never forget it. So somebody backstage made sure that I got backstage to get the award. And I hadn't prepared anything to say because I really didn't want to think about the Tony Awards. It was too scary. And of course, I never want to forget it.
Well, that's terrific.
That actually made it a bigger moment, I think, for you in your career.
Absolutely.
It's very memorable.
You bet it is. Yeah. And it's amazing. I mean, that is a moment. Oh, my goodness. I can't even imagine that moment. But you've had so many. Through all of the 70s, you not only were you this incredible recording star and into the 80s and all the fabulous albums and the singles, but you also appeared. You had a variety show at one point. You appeared on every television show that was of any worth in the late 70s and the 80s. You made appearances on them. I mean, tell me, is it all about the music? Was it all about the TV performances, the acting? What's it about for Melba Moore?
What had happened was, once the Tony Award happened, you really literally were launched to another planet.
I bet.
And that put you into all of the all the media, all the realms. So I was invited to do everything everywhere. And everybody invited me to do television. So, of course, that made me extremely well known. I was on everybody's TV show. And so that made me a television star. It just really literally changed. But it was about the Tony Award. Now, what the Tony Award was about, I think was about the music. The other people in the cast, Philip Rose was he did the Raisin in the Sun and several other Broadway musicals that purposely opened the way for Black people in theater on Broadway. And I know that people made room for me to get that Tony Award. People like Helen Hayes, Lauren Bacall. I can't remember all of the people who helped make sure that the politics were okay for me to be nominated and accept that award, because it's not only very cultural, and it was very racist. And so, for whatever reason that God saw, people made a way for me to be nominated and to. I'm sure I won it legitimately and everything, but for that to happen, people had to want it to happen. They could say no, and we don't want her. It could have been that I wasn't good enough. It could have been any number of things, but it wasn't.
It was the time. It was the right time. It was all meant to be. Talk to us about Melba Moore's career now, as now as a lovely woman who could be retired should she choose to, but has decided not to. And I know you've been at Below 54 a number of times. I just talked about being over in Paris. Tell me about the career now and what you're out there doing and what your goals are at this stage of the game.
Well, I've kind of reorganized my management and publicity team so that we're looking at what we want to do at this level. And I feel in some ways I've never really gone to my next level. I shouldn't be on television all the time. I should be able to go to Broadway whenever I think about it. I should have certain types of major performing tours. And so we're working on me getting to my next level and being consistent. That's really what I want to do. I definitely want to go back to Broadway. I'm not sure in what. We're preparing a concert tour for this season. Some places I've already done residences that I'll return to. I'd like to expand that. I really haven't done Vegas. I mean, I did it a couple of times, but some of the things I've done, I like to do consistently, primarily.
Sure. Absolutely.
What's it like, being on the Broadway stage, the rigors of that, day after day?
Oh, I didn't find that so difficult, I guess, because, first of all, I was an educator, so we understand discipline. For some reason, in my heart, I wanted to be a dancer. That means you just enjoy suffering, okay? So the rigor of the Broadway stage wasn't so difficult. What was really difficult was understanding how it all works. You have to have the other aspects of it just as talented in terms of the business and the promoting and the booking, all of that. They have to be gifted at that as well as, do it full time.
Sure.
And and you can pick the wrong people, and if you do, then no matter how talented you are, it's not going to get out. Now, then a couple of accidents happen, like Pearly and Hair and Les Miserables. That's 3 big ones, right?
I was sure.
Yeah, really big.
You have to kind of try to get a knowledge of how the business works. I feel like I kind of know that now, but I've had some real deep falls and deep difficulties and hurts and
yeah.
I mean, but we know this industry is like that. And of course, I think I was prepared for that because my parents were entertainers and musicians. And of course, they really didn't want me to do this because it's so difficult.
Yeah.
But this is really for me. I can take these bruises here, maybe somewhere else in another type of industry where I wasn't happy and really expressing my soul's desires. I couldn't take it because it's really, really, really hard. Yeah. But the business aspect of it and the rejection and just the scariness of, I mean, I still get scared going on stage because you can never really take it for granted. The weather might be wrong, my voice might go. You have to think of these things. And as you get older, this whole thing changes.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I think you have to, you can't just want to be in it. A lot of people want to. Somehow it has to be destined for you, or else you can't keep finding ways of of coming back and doing it again, and even staying at the same level, much less going to a higher level.
Right.
Come on, this is ridiculous. But I think I'm born for this.
Well, I think you are. I think you've proven that, and you've ridden those highs and lows so gracefully, and there's something to be said for that, because that's not an easy thing to do, for sure. And I know you have had a lot of peaks and a lot of valleys. I think you're on a real peak right now, and I'm very excited about the concept of you coming back to Broadway. I really hope something happens there. I would love to come and see you, and I'd love for you to come to Boston. What do you think?
Oh, I'm coming.
Okay.
All right. Love to see you, too.
Sure, Harold win, but I'll get there. Boston is major arts center. So
yes, it is.
Somebody's going to be there, or I'll get promoted and bring myself as executive producer.
There you go. That's exactly what we want you to do. Listen, a big kiss from Mr. David Joseph. Mwah. He told me to be sure to send that to you. I would imagine you will be speaking to him soon. And many thank yous for taking time for Carrigan Company. You are a gem, and we're going to look forward to the next chapter in Melba Moore's life.
Well, I hope you understand that I really enjoyed this moment of pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Melba Moore, thank you very much.
And, big things are still to come for her.
Oh, you bet they are.
You haven't even reached the top of your career yet. I think you got a lot more in you still.
There's a lot more to come. This is Carrigan Company.